Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Now, a few months ago, I announced that I had entered what I'm thinking is probably the biggest physical challenge of my life. I've entered a half Ironman, and it's not that many weeks away. It takes place on the 7th of May. I've maybe decided to do a nice one because I'm going to Marbella in Spain, so fingers crossed the weather's nice. And I wanted to document the journey towards that Ironman. I don't want to do too many videos, after all I am a car channel, so if you're here for car content this might not be for you, but that's fair enough. In this video I just wanted to give you an update on how my training's going, but also just to talk a little bit about what the training entails. If you don't know what a half Ironman is in terms of disciplines and distances, it's a 3 discipline event: swim, bike, run. The swim is 1.2 miles, the bike is 56 miles, and then the final bit, the run, is a half marathon, so 13.1 miles. And it's a big undertaking. To do any or either one of those things individually is a big thing, but to do them all in one go is a really big thing. So I've needed to work with some specialist people to help me do that. Before we talk to those guys and understand about my training, when I made the announcement, lots of you have said, are you going to be running it for a charity? Now, first up, I've paid the entry myself and all of the expenses getting there. I hadn't really thought about running it for a charity or raising money when I entered it. I was just doing it for me. But I have a platform, I have you amazing pedalers, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to try and raise a little bit of money to a charity that is close to my heart. So the charity I'm going to be doing some fundraising for is I've got this very swanky t-shirt, Born Free. Now, the reason I'm running it for Born Free is Mrs. Petrol Ped is actually, she sits on the advisory board for Born Free. And as part of that work, I've got to meet a lot of the amazing team from the top down in Born Free. Now, you may well know the charity, but if not, they basically work with wild animals. They're best known for their work with lions. They did some amazing work kind of post-COVID, going around a lot of captive zoos where captive lions were held and freeing those and putting them into more suitable homes in Africa, and big ranges where they can live a proper life. They also work with elephants and other types of big cats. And I just think they do amazing work, and it's a charity that's maybe not on the radar of some people. There's so many well-known charities. And first of all, I want to say, I know it's tough times at the moment. I'm sure a lot of you are struggling to just pay the mortgage and put food on the table, let alone, being asked to donate for charity. And that's all well and good. But if you can afford some money, I did think if each one of my subscribers gave just £1, I'd raise £170,000 for Born Free, which is amazing. I'm sure that's not going to happen. So I've set up a Just Giving page. I'll put a link in a pinned comment and in the description below. If you'd like to support me, that would be absolutely amazing, and I can support the amazing work that Born Free do. So let's jump into a chat I had last week on a session with my personal trainer, a guy called James Temple, who I've been working with for a long time now, and he's helping me with all of my strength training. Legend! Now this guy is James, who is my personal trainer. We worked together for a long time now.
Years, 5, 6.
Yeah, where's my six-pack?
Yeah, it's been there.
So I've got 2 guys helping me out. James is for me, over the last 5 years, has transformed the way I think about exercise and most importantly, the fueling of your body, the whole nutrition side of things. I'm no angel by any means. I do like a drink and I do like a burger, but but he said to me once, he said, you can't out-train a bad diet. And the second I started to realise that, things happened. So what are we doing? The sessions I do with you, there's a focus on, if we talk about the kind of the exercises we do first, and then the stuff I have to do when I'm not with you.
Yeah, so like as Pete says, been working with him now for probably 5, 6 years. His phases of training has changed a lot over the years. I mean, when we started, it was a big transformation.
Yeah.
We should try and include a shot of that in this video if you can, because it's a phenomenal transformation, one of the best I've ever had with a client, to be honest. And over the years, it's been different things. It's been, building strength, building core strength with him. At the moment, he's all in on this Ironman training. So you know, our training has kind of been more around maintaining of strength, keeping his core strength nice and high, keeping his mobility nice and high, and just staying on top of some of the key movements like deadlifting and squats and keeping his legs strong, because he's putting a lot of mileage in on the road and in the pool and stuff like that. So it's important for us that other things that we've worked on in the past haven't slipped. Plus, if you're going to train like a pro athlete, you should look like one, in my opinion.
This guy is the most ripped guy I know. So we do a lot of, I really enjoy the lifting the weights, deadlifting, pull-ups, push-ups. We call this place the pain cave, because there's lots of things in here that can really make you hurt. And actually when I first started seeing James, most of the time I was outside being ill in the car park after about 10 minutes. But then the big thing for me, and I've learned this from you, is I then go home, and the first thing I do whenever I've done any of my activities, whether that's a workout with you, a bike, a long run, is I have a recovery shake within sort of 15-20 minutes of doing that, if I can, just to give my body the fuel it needs to fix itself.
Yeah, and actually I think Pete's diet's really good, because it's not what you would describe as a restrictive, perfect diet. You know, he still does the things that he wants to enjoy, but over the years, I've noticed it just gradually get better and better and better now, where you drink far less than you ever have done in the past. Yep. The quality of the food that you eat's better. You're quite focused on protein now. So just, it's been a process, isn't it? And we're very lucky. We can kind of go to the supermarket and buy whatever we want, but we try and cut out we eat quite a lot of veggie food and fish during the week. We don't eat so much meat. I've certainly cut back on alcohol since I've been doing the training. I'll have maybe drink during the weekend, but nothing during the week, unless I'm skiing, of course, which 1 week of skiing, put like 2.5 kilos on. So that's it. It's nothing massively complicated. It's not like I've got a food plan or a dietary sheet that I have to follow from James. I just take care of making sure I eat the good stuff. I have a really good breakfast every day. One of the things you got me to do straight away was cut all the snacks out. So no biscuits, no crisps, no chocolate. Just the meals of the day. Good breakfast, good lunch, good dinner. You'd actually want me to eat 5 times a day, but logistically I can't. Especially the amount of training he's doing now. This guy is in the pool 2-3 hours at a time.
So let's jump into some training and hit the pain cave.
Game on.
Come on.
Let's go. There you go, buddy. Long reach, long reach. Good, buddy. Good. Go on, in behind it. Go.
So I see James once a week if I can, as long as work doesn't get in the way. And the work that he does with me is very much about core strength and leg strength. And since Christmas, we've worked really, really hard. We've upped the weights I'm lifting, and I just feel so much stronger, especially in my core. Even when I'm driving cars around and doing long journeys, I just have a much stronger core. So it's really, really important work that we're doing. But I also needed some technical help with the elements of the triathlon, especially the swimming. Swimming is not my strong point. So I'm working with a guy called Matt Jolly, who I worked with 10 years ago when I did the London Olympic distance triathlon, and I did some swim training with him. And Matt is quite a complex remit, really. So one, he's putting my training plan together and helping me understand what activities I need to do on a weekly basis to get ready for the big day. But I'm also doing some technique training. He's one of the swim coaches at Chichester Triathlon Club, and I'm also doing some stuff nearer the event. We'll be doing things around how best to plan for transition and all of those types of things. So I had a session with Matt on Monday. Let's meet him and talk about what I'm doing in terms of training and just how much time and effort I need to put in to do this triathlon. Now then, guys, this is Matt. Matt is my triathlon guru. Mate.
We'll see.
No, so he's an endurance athlete.
I am, yeah.
Personal trainer and an endurance athlete.
Yeah, I've been doing triathlons 17, 18 years, something like that.
That's a long time further than me.
Training for my 10th marathon. I've done double marathons. I've done 180 mile bike rides.
Sorry, double marathon?
Yes.
You ran 2 marathons in one go?
Yes.
In what time?
On the South Downs Way.
On the South Downs Way? In what time?
8.5, 9.5, 10.5 hours.
Wow.
So pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
So Matt and I go a long way back. So we met when Matt was a trainer at Goodwood, and he's now at this place, which is wicked. So he's only been here like a month, and it's the coolest gym. It's in a really cool kind of location. It's got loads and loads of really cool kit. But we met at Goodwood, and when I did the London Triathlon in 2012, my big problem, and it's a recurring theme, was the swimming, because Matt's also a swim coach. So you helped me a lot, and actually taught me originally how to bilateral breathe.
We did, didn't we?
Because I couldn't do that before. That's when you breathe on both sides.
Yeah, and open water.
And open water, down with the Portsmouth triathletes. I'm now with the Chichester triathletes. So shall we, I thought we'd just talk through swim, bike, run, and the work or the help that you're giving me and the kind of things I'm having to concentrate on. Swimming. Swimming is the big challenge for me.
It is for a lot of people.
Yes.
It's the thing you do least.
Yes.
You've got to make time to actually go to a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And do it. You can't just go out your door and go. Take your time with it.
My problem was, so I can breaststroke, I'm a pretty good breaststroker, and while we were on holiday last year, I swam 2 miles, no problem at all. I've got to swim 1,900 metres for the half Ironman, and I said to you, so I can swim in breaststroke, and you went, no, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Breaststroke's a leg stroke.
Breaststroke uses the legs a lot more, whereas front crawl is arm dominant. It's much more efficient and faster.
Yeah.
So you're going to save a lot of energy doing front crawl.
But what we found out is it's all technique. So while we're chatting, I'll overlay some of the footage from the training sessions we do with Chichester Triathlon Club, which I have to say, every Tuesday night we go to the local leisure centre. It's a 33-metre pool, and we do loads of drills and technique work, and it's been really, really useful. I've still got a long way to go though. I feel like my technique's slowly getting there. I think to start with, I had a big problem with overreaching across my head. And the big thing is the length of the stroke. I'm finding that, because when I not panic, but when you start trying to push on, it shortens up and that's the opposite.
You stiffen up a little bit. I mean, swimming, you need to relax into it. Whereas if you're stiff, it gets shorter and breathing.
That's a very
the
common
one thing with swimming, you've got to control the breathing. Yeah. Cycling, running, any other sport, you can just breathe as and when you want to. Yeah. Breathing with swimming, it's got to be at a particular time and motion. Yeah, and that's the tricky bit.
Yeah. So that there's still a lot of work to be doing. One of the things we're now about 6 weeks out, so I'm upping the frequency of my swimming. I think that I've fallen foul to work getting in the way, because there's only one training session a week on a Tuesday night with the training club, and if you're not around on Tuesday night, you can't go. And if you miss, I missed 3 on the trot recently, and that it just knackers you completely. If you can go every week, it helps a lot. So between now and the event, I'm going to do every one.
You are.
I am. I am. So it's a wetsuit swim.
It is.
And one of the things we're talking about, and it's difficult to capture on camera, but we've just been having a chat now about the whole transition phases from coming in off the swim and then getting ready to go out on the bike, and the way you lay your kit out and the technique. And for me, that's why having a triathlon coach or someone who's done lots of them before is just essential. Because if I just rocked up having never done one, I think it would not be good.
It will save you a lot of time being laid out in a nice, thought out process, rather than kind of chucking that around. Where's that? Who's that one?
I think it'll save me a lot of sleep as well, because I won't be so panicked. So coming in off the swim, we're going to transition to the bike. So you have to take your wetsuit off. Now I'll be wearing a tri-suit underneath my wetsuit, so I don't have to then put my cycling kit on. It's already on underneath the wetsuit, and it's a very quick drying material. And we're in the I'm in Marbella. Where did you do your track?
I went to Mallorca.
Yeah, so he did Ironman Mallorca, and it rained the whole way.
It was a miserable day. Yeah. But I finished.
Good. Yeah. So I'm hoping it's gonna be warm, so my tri-suit will dry off. Let me go on to the bike. So just talk a little bit about what we're doing with the bike. One of the things that we've had set up is there's loads of platforms that will capture your metrics from things like Garmin's and other kind of fitness devices. Now I use a Garmin running watch and a Garmin bike computer, and I put that through Garmin and then onto Strava. But what we've been using is a thing called Training Peaks.
Yes.
Which is quite cool.
Yeah, much more specific training tool, so I can pre-program in, tell you how far, how long, all the data from the Garmin's gets uploaded to it, so I can then analyse from wherever I am. I can look, okay, he was looking at that RPM for that, and he was at that RPM there, and his heart rate was doing that there, and kind of see where you're peaking and troughing and dropping off and see what's going on.
It's been mega because every weekend, you sort of open up Training Peaks and there's the next lot of stuff that I've got to do, and sometimes I've not been able to do it word for word, but it's about, again, regularity and consistency. So the big thing for the bike training, I think I mentioned this on my announcement video, is I've now got a smart trainer connected to Zwift, and because the weather's been pretty grotty, that has been
it's a lifesaver.
Immeasurably useful, because whether you've got half an hour or 2 hours, you'll find something to be able to do on Zwift. But with Zwift you can ride to power. That's quite interesting. I need to talk to you about whether I get power pedals for my bike, actually, so I can transition from riding power on Zwift to riding power on the road.
You could. They ain't cheap.
No, I know. They're like 800 quid or something. So I'm already spending enough money on all the kit. I probably won't because they're so expensive, to be fair. But
in this short term for the race, probably not.
No.
Stick with what you know this close to the race.
Yeah.
But long term, training to power is better than heart rate.
Yes.
Rather than a heart rate can be affected by if you're feeling a bit up or down, a bit under the weather, the environment, all those. The power the muscles put out is consistent.
Yeah.
So it is better.
Yeah. Okay, there's a decision made. That's just saved me 800 quid. Excellent. That can go towards the bike box to get my bike to Spain, which I've just ordered, which was 800 quid. So I will be doing a video on packing my bike away, actually, because one of the big challenges with my Bianchi is it's got integrated handlebars, and you normally with a bike box you take the front wheel off and you twist the handlebars through 90 degrees to fit it sideways into the box. I can't do that, so you have to buy a special bike box. So the cycling, we're not going to talk too much today about that, but just Zwift has been mega, and I'm trying to either cycle or run every day and then swim on a Tuesday, and I'm just about to up that to swimming twice a week. So one of the things you might, in terms of time you need, an hour to an hour and a half each day.
Pretty much the next month or so.
It is so it by no means a short undertaking. It's let's say 10 hours a week.
Yeah. Maybe
10 to 12 hours a week at the moment, which is a lot, and that's going to up over the next few weeks because I've got long runs, long bikes planned, going from 40 miles, 50 miles, and then finishing at 60 miles 2 weeks before the event. And I'm also, let's talk about the next bit, which is running, is brick training, and that's going straight off the bike.
Yes, as you would mimicking what you would do in a race. Yeah. As you would just get off the bike, drop it down, shoes on, and run. So the brick training gets you used to that, because there's a thing called jelly leg. Yeah. So your legs are so used to going round and round and round. As soon as you start putting impact into it, your legs kind of go all floppy.
I've only done one brick session so far, and it wasn't very pleasant, to be fair.
It gets better.
So I've got that's the next big thing, actually, is we've got some brick sessions sorted.
A bit more race specific stuff coming into the training plan now.
And talking about that, one of the things we're going to do today, and we'll talk about it now, and I'll overlay some footage about what we're doing, is I've never been taught how to run.
Which is common. A lot of people haven't. No, because it's simple.
Yeah, you just been running since you were a kid, right?
Simple, right? But there are good ways and bad ways to run. Yeah. There's more efficient ways to run, more injury-prone ways of running. So we're looking at efficiency and relaxing. Yeah.
Excellent. So we're going to do that, and then the final thing we need to have a really good chat about is I've talked when I was with James. We talked about nutrition. That's, if you like, my nutrition during my training program. But a big one is nutrition during the race.
It's a long way.
You said, well, it's not. Don't worry about the swimming, the cycling, or the running. It's an eating race.
It's an eating competition. It's great.
This is great. I'm good at that. I can do that. So we're going to work out, and I might talk when we're at the event about how I'm going to do that in terms of obviously you can't eat or drink during the swim, but pre-swim and post-swim.
Drinking during the swim is not a good idea.
No, I probably will end up drinking some Mediterranean during the swim, and then on the bike, it's a long time on the bike. I'm going to be on the bike 3 hours or so, I guess. Yeah. So lots of fluid intake, lots of food intake. At transition, I'm planning to take on lots of food, and then on the run, I don't want to carry a great deal with me, but I'll have some gels and things on the run probably.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a complicated thing. So if you are planning on doing, and I think if you're doing like a sprint triathlon or something, I still would say have a chat if you can find a local triathlon club.
Absolutely.
Because when we go swimming on a Tuesday, all the guys there, there's guys there that have done
There's a wealth of
from
background.
sprints to full Ironman.
The club's actually got an actual Ironman coach now.
Wow.
He qualified a few weeks ago, I believe. So
I might be talking to him next year when I do my full Ironman. The bit I have found is, having trained for long bike rides before or a marathon, the nice thing about a triathlon is it's 3 different types of stuff. So it's a nice mix up.
It is.
So some days you'll go, I'm going to go on the bike today. Some days I'll go for a nice long run today. Then you've got swim days, and I really like that. It mixes things up.
The cross training reduces chance of injury.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing that repetitive thing all the time.
Yeah.
And it keeps it more interesting as well mentally.
Yeah. I cannot underestimate how much of a benefit having someone like Matt help me is. Just on the end of a WhatsApp. How do I do transition, Matt? Help! So I'm going to put all Matt's details below, and especially with this gym, it's really cool. It's just on the outskirts of Chichester. So if you are in the local area and you do need any endurance stuff, I'm not going to necessarily go and do a double marathon. Nut job. But if you did want to do that, easy man. Right. So next thing, I guess we need to do some work, do we?
I'm afraid so.
All right.
Yeah. Coffee down.
Coffee down, yeah. So there you go. Lots and lots of work still to go. I remember when I entered, it just seemed such a long way off in the distance, and now it's like literally a few weeks away, and I'm starting to really brick it, to be honest. I feel physically ill when I think about the whole event. But stay tuned to my Instagram feed, because I'm doing lots of sort of stories and stuff, especially when I've been on the bike. Talking about bikes, if any of you want to join me on my last training ride, which is on the 23rd of April on Sunday at Goodwood Motor Circuit, every month at Goodwood, it's normally the last Sunday of the month, you can pay £10 to cycle as many times around the motor circuit as you like. And on the 23rd of April, I'm going to be doing a 60-mile bike ride around the motor circuit, and then following that up with a 6-mile run. Now, you don't have to do both, but if you wanted to turn up and ride with me for a bit, that would be awesome. Message me if you want to, DM me via one of my social platforms if you're going to do that, and let me know you're coming. But I'll probably be starting as soon as I can get on the circuit, which is normally about 9 o'clock, I think. But I'll update on Instagram before then. But if you want to join me, that would be awesome. But for now, I'm going to crack on with my training, actually. I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of a different video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And if you are able, and only if you're able, then Born Free is my chosen charity for this event. If you want to support me, there's a Just Giving link in the description and pinned comment. It would be amazing if you could support me in any way that you are able. But I will crack on with training. See you on the next film, guys. You take care. Drive safe. Or should I say, swim, ride and run safe.